improvements, but we're back.
We're back. We are here with Quaranteens this week to bring you a long time coming episode. We have touched on this multiple times along the journey, but we've never really got into the nitty fucking gritty.
No, we have not got into the nitty gritty, and let's be honest, there's plenty to get into.
And the thing of it is, like, when we had the high school episode and I talked about the religious trauma, which is what we're discussing today.
Yes.
It was very much in the context of, like, A, my personal situation, and B, like, young person coming of age story. We need to discuss the realities of religious trauma and how to spot it, the red flags, when you see it, what does it look like as adults?
Fair, because this is going to be almost like, this might be the most teaching I'm going to get since Roster 101.
No, for real.
Because I don't be noticing or knowing none of this shit. I be thinking it's just weird actions, corny actions, et cetera, as we're going to get into.
Right.
But I've come to find out from my partner that it's not just so simple as that.
No, and it's not as simple as any one certain type of religion or any one certain type of family situation. And also, just a disclaimer right up front, this is not to, like, rip people apart in any type of way. This is honestly meant to, like, uplift people and say, like, hey, if you're witnessing this in people that you're seeing, or if you yourself are doing this kind of thing, like, just ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it genuine? Is this a way that I feel like I want to be and I'm happy with being? Or do I want to start asking myself these questions of, like, what is motivating me in these actions?
Wow. This is coming through with uplifting and joyous messages. I promise you there's still jokes.
Notes, people.
Oh, my gosh. She is out.
I'm doing God's work this time.
Yeah, wow.
I'm doing God's work.
If that pun was not perfectly intended, I don't know what is, but we do appreciate the work. So where you want to start?
So, I mean, I feel like, to be clear, like, I wanted to come on here and be like, a religious trauma of which I am a culprit, because that's like kind of hilarious, and I kind of love that journey for me in, like, this weird backwards way.
You love it.
But the truth of the matter is, I'm not sure I ever really bought into this religious shit. Like, I can remember literally being 8 years old at mass when they would make us go during the school day. And, like, people would be taking communion and, like, you know, whatever, respect to you. But, like, at 8 years old, I remember distinctly thinking to myself, do these people really think this is real and not just a story? So I don't know.
The symbolism.
I go back and forth with myself if I ever really bought into this. And so, like, when I was in high school, this is the only thing I'll say about high school, because we already had the whole episode. Go check it out. I went on this mission trip, and that's a whole nother thing. We won't get into it. But it was obviously overnight.
Yeah.
Several days, 10 days, I think. And all the girls slept in one end of the hall, and the boys slept in the other end of the hall.
I couldn't have y'all close.
And we would gossip about boyfriends and shit and, like, whatever. And I distinctly remember being utterly shocked.
You were shocked?
I was shocked at the inexperience of the quote-unquote most popular girls at our school. Because I was just like, I really thought that they were fucking out here getting to the business. And they were not. And
they were doing nothing of the sort.
I was very surprised, and in hindsight, I should not have been. But this brings us to, like I said, adulthood.
Oh, adulthood. And of
and
course,
the remnants of these naivete ways and days, and what do they fucking look like? And I believe you have a little fucking story time, my good sir.
Somehow I am a perfect case study, if you will. Unbeknownst to me this whole time, but you know the CEO always be plying.
Oh yeah.
So there was this this woman that I was talking to back in the day, and you know, it was not really anything of the sort at the beginning. It was just kind of like a little bit of flirting, you know, here and there. And we finally got to like actually like linking up for a couple of, I mean, don't even really want to call them dates, because I feel like that's not giving them the word date a service, but sure, we'll go with that. And
I feel like every time you tell this, I'm always like, why don't you just... It's yet another example of like women go on dates that they're not sure if they like the person all the time. So it for sure is a date just because you feel unsure about them. Whereas for you, as we've discussed multiple times, the men, like, they don't do that. So to you, it's like weird. That's why you don't want to call it a date. It's because you weren't sure about
it's
her.
not because I don't want to call it a date because of that. It's because I just feel like certain things are actually a date. And
I mean,
so,
you
like,
went to a restaurant with her and shared a meal.
shared like fries or an appetizer.
Okay. French fries. Sounds like a debate for another day. Trigger.
It's 100% a debate for another day.
But anyway,
anyways,
continue. That's not the
so,
point.
and then the second time was like a Netflix and chill situation. So,
Right.
except for the chilling was like actually chilling.
Right.
which
Netflix
is-
and chill PG edition.
Yeah, which is kind of the first part here, which is after that occurred,
Yeah.
I got a message from her. And like, the first part of the text was like, oh, it was great to hang out, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, cool, bet I enjoyed it. We'll have to do it again soon. And the next part of the message was, not gonna lie, I really thought we were gonna like do something while I was over. And I'm like,
Red flag. The phrase "do something" doesn't even say what that something is. Can't put words to it. Continue.
and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was like the vibe you was
Going for it.
wanting. Like,
Right.
like I thought we were really just hanging out, and I wasn't. I mean, my simp ass. I'm not being trying to be aggressive and do the thing.
Yeah,
so
you're
like,
not really that kind of person.
I was
which is
just
fine.
like, my bad. Like next time. Like literally, I was just like, hey, next time. Like cool, whatever.
So this is point number one to me. There are 4 key points to this story that I don't want to lose sight of, and this is number 1. The very top most absolute red flag of people who have religious trauma is that they are simultaneously guilty. Like they're not guilty. They feel guilty.
Yep.
And they're extremely horny.
Well, I can get the second part.
And I'm telling you right now, like, I can name you many times. This one time in particular, I literally, like, was talking to this dude. This is back in my, days when I was struggling. I was talking to this dude. I went over, again, for a Netflix and chill type situation.
Yeah. We're going to relax, max and relax.
And then when I got there, I felt so guilty about it that even though I fully went there wanting to have sex with him, I literally didn't. I spent the whole night, like, agonizing in my mind over whether or not I was going to fuck him. He was completely confused, could not understand what was going on.
Hey, from our perspective, we are genuinely.
I went home
the hell?
and then same kind of thing. Like I texted him and was like saying like flirty things
Yeah,
about
he was
like
out here basically
yeah.
sexting, ready to go.
But this was before I was ever a sexter, so
Yeah,
it wasn't
so
even close to like that level.
You're what you could do at the time when you were doing it.
But then,
right?
funny enough, and this is even worse than what this girl did, is the very next motherfucking day, next day,
Smash.
I went back and smashed him. And
Why-
so it's
Why is that worse? That sounds great.
It's worse in the sense of like the guilt is so extreme and the horniness is that extreme that those two things can exist within
That
the
you're
same
Doctor Jekyll,
24-hour
Mr.
period.
Hyde within
Yes.
24 hours. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So I mean, my first question to you, when you say nothing happened,
Nothing happened. Like I mean,
no
like
kissing,
no, like I wouldn't even call it cuddling. Like
Yeah.
we're sort of, but like not heavy.
barely breaking the touch
Yeah,
barrier.
yeah. Like she was around, but like it wasn't like I couldn't tell. So there was none of that.
And then hits you with the I thought something was going to happen.
yeah.
So let me return to this "do something" phrase because I feel like this is very key.
Okay.
Like people who are. And to be clear, there's nothing wrong with being trepidatious. You don't have to put out man or woman at any point, early, late, whatever, and all of that is fine.
Yeah, especially if you're unsure.
But like the key point here is that she came over here to literally Netflix and chill, and then like when she went home, she was immediately like, even though she didn't use the word wish, she was basically saying like, I wish that we had hooked up.
Yeah.
Whatever that may mean. It doesn't have to mean like
Yeah,
fucking.
she wanted to do something more than what we did,
Right.
And she expressed that pretty quickly.
So the timeline is like the key flag here of just like flip flop, flippity flop, flop, flop. Can't nail it down. You know what I mean?
See, it's funny because you out here talking about the trauma, and like in my head, I'm like, this is like right around when I had retired.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I've been out the game so long. I don't know what's going on. I know I was in the Sahara Desert as far as getting it in. It had been longer time than I want to admit on wax. And so it was like, when she said that to me, I was like, dang, I really must be out the game. Like, I didn't see no signs. Like,
no, I don't think, I really don't think it was you. I mean, to be fair, like, you're not, there's also personality. She may have wanted you to instigate and you didn't or whatever, and all that is fine. But I'm just saying the flip-flopping is a flag for me. And
fair enough.
You know, aside from your specific story, like another really common situation I hear of is women who, there are plenty of women who make the argument that they want and or need like a deep emotional connection with somebody in order to enjoy
before
having
they can
sex
enjoy
with
the
them.
sex. Yeah, that's fine.
And that's totally fine. And I don't necessarily disagree with that for like individuals in their specific situations and circumstances. What I would question is like if that is truly like a quote unquote feminine disposition that so many of us are feeling, or if there's some kind of systemic indoctrination of that,
the patriarchy,
to where we can't let go of our own guilt and shame around sex unless that perceived level of commitment is already in place.
Well, I mean, let's be clear. She wasn't as fast as you in 24 hours, but she came back around pretty quickly.
So
to
there
smash.
you go.
So,
continue the story. So she comes back.
Yeah, she came back around again. We, you know, I guess like her version of hooked up. We didn't sleep. We didn't have sex that first time, and then the second time, it was the second time we hung out after that. Then we smashed, and then now she's all in, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which again, it's fine.
Which I find interesting, and again, this isn't necessarily a particular flag to religious trauma, but it can be interesting to the fact of like, she clearly wanted there to be some kind of rapport built up and some kind of like depth to the relationship before you guys smashed. And yet, notably, there was no conversation about like, what are we, or like what she wanted, or asking you what you wanted before she did smash. So it's this weird murky thing of like not wanting to have the conversation, but is too horny not to fuck you at the end of the day. So it's like,
okay. The only thing I'll say in a very fake defense.
Yeah, okay. Good. We need some defense.
When we originally like, because this was like a Tinder match, like when we originally matched on Tinder months before any of this occurred.
Yeah.
Our very short conversation in there, she did ask, what was I looking for?
Fair enough.
I was like, oh, you know, I mean, at this point, I'm really kind of looking for a relationship. And she was like, me too. But then, but again, there's a very large gap between this conversation and this sexing that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
So I just want to give that little caveat that technically I was told this a very long time prior.
But see, in your mind, as somebody who's not necessarily going on these types of principles, and like, to be fair, the reason we're implementing this girl as the example is because we know some circumstances about her situation.
Yes.
That would suggest that she would be in a similar position as me in terms of my history and all that. So we're not just like putting this on her without any type of clues. Yeah.
She's just not picking one of the last floozies I got with and talking about her. Right?
But in your position, not having these like quote unquote fake shackles of thought and feeling on you, you very well may be looking for a relationship. But that's not your desire or lack thereof to have a relationship both with her specifically and someone generally has not that much to do with whether or not you're going to fuck a girl you've matched with on Tinder.
Well, correct.
But she obviously thinks that it does, because that was clearly like a gatekeep thing that she had to be able to even give you any type of time of day in the first place. And yet, like I said, didn't bother to actually have the conversation for real about you and her before she did it. But continue.
So, anyways, this story is just so funny. I know she's having way too much fun. I know for people on YouTube, y'all can see she's having way too much fun. So then, you know, whatever, we're we smashing on a pretty regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And
Classic
then,
situationship.
then now I'm starting to get, and I know on this very fine program I've discussed how I am not, and I repeat, not a sexter.
Right.
And at first, I would get, some texts that were like a little more like corny jokes or something like that. And like, kind of more innocent, like alluding to something like,
Right.
but not being like all outright with it.
Right.
But then it started to be like, I'm so wet right now. Which is great. Like, I'm not mad about it. But also, it's like 11:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. And I'm in the office. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm like happy for you. I know this is a detail that you wanted me to bring up, so I'll just bring it up before you say anything. This particular situation, she was not a Snapchat person.
Neither am I. Interesting.
But she specifically got Snapchat when I told her that I had it.
Yeah.
So that she could message me on Snap.
Spicy.
And, yes, send things that maybe she didn't want to text, via
Which I think is funny
the
when
message.
people feel that that's like some kind of cloak of like protection.
Oh, yeah.
When like literally we can take a screenshot out here. Like,
there's so many apps that you can take a screenshot on Snap without them knowing that you took the screenshot. It's
but
not even
also
difficult.
like, I don't know. Is it really like, I don't know. I've always felt like if I'm going to text you and I'm going to send you some sexy pictures, like,
I'm just going to message
do I
you.
really expect you not to keep them?
It's like you kind of
I've gotten over that now, but that took me a long time to get over it. I mean, that's part of what I was going to say is that like her like little fake corny shit in the beginning, like, oh, super PG. I want to sit in your lap, whatever. Shit like that. Hey, man, you got to start somewhere. And let me tell you, that's where I was starting
as
too.
a non-sexter, I appreciate it all because I was like, I just don't do this. So
it's a
like,
better place to start than I'm so wet right now, even besides. Like, again,
Hey.
I've talked about this before, but like, don't jump the gun when you're fucking sexting. Like, you can't walk that back. She's clearly, I don't know, like, not, shall we say, true to this, like, new to this rookie vibe of just like, you don't just hit somebody out of the blue with I'm so wet right now. Like, you got to hit them up. Like, it just feels very abrupt, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like coming from the non-RT perspective, like, I guess I probably just have this like inherent bias of like the kind of vibe of person you would be to be like some sexter and be good at it.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
And like, I can't even say if she's good at it or not because, as I've said before, I don't really do it. So like, I can't judge. But also, I'm judging in the moment because it's with me, and I'm thinking, I don't know if this is good because it's not really
what I'm getting in real life.
It's not really turning me on, and I'm like, why don't you just roll through? Like, because I just be. That's
so the chemistry wasn't really there, and she was trying. I mean, and yeah,
well, and again, that's specifically speaking, referring to the sexting because. I ain't you.
No, yeah. No, I mean, yes, it's not every single thing any person ever does is related to the trauma, religious or otherwise, that they have. But again, it kind of also goes back to the whole thing of like, at first it was this extreme caution. And now it's this extreme
green light,
situation.
Let's be on the Autobahn out here.
Boom, boom, boom. I'm wet as a puddle in this bitch. Like, I don't know. To me, like, the math is questionable on this one. We gotta watch the film back. You gotta see if she was out of bounds there. Like, I'm just not really sure. We need VAR.
Check the replay. So, should I continue?
Yeah, but continue.
Okay. So then after some time of hanging out, fucking dates, whatever, I get presented with something very odd. So basically, it was like I knew that it was like some night I was going to do something, and I was pretty sure I made it clear I was going to do that, and I wasn't going to be available. And I just got like, I mean, I know you hate this just in general, religious trauma or not. Never liked the message "this too long."
Oh yeah, no. We don't do that anymore.
don't-
That stopped at age 20.
Don't send novels.
No,
like
we're done.
Send novel recommendations.
Yeah, we're done here.
But don't send novels. And the real gist of it was basically her saying that she liked me more than I liked her. And now
this is a whole story. Just a sidebar quickly, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
This is all coming from the man that like literally has been on wax on this fine program multiple times, being like, "I'm not a savage. I'm not about that fucking future lifestyle." Blah blah blah. Now he's out here like fully dating chicks who like think that he doesn't even like them. Like it's giving Toxic King. But
okay,
continue.
yeah. And all I'll say to that is, I've been hanging out with her too long. But anyway, so I got that message, and I mean, it was like late. It was like later at night. So like, obviously I was out, devil's juice, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why the fuck am I getting this message? So I like showed somebody, and I was like, I'm just not even gonna respond.
Right.
So then I didn't. Then of course that ends up with another follow-up message. So then I'm just like, hey, I don't really know what you want me to do. I ain't done said or done nothing that I thought wasn't cool. I thought we were in a good
chill,
place,
casual,
whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was anything else I needed to do.
Yeah.
Now you're saying, you're not even telling me what you need me to do. You're just saying that I'm not on your level, which is just awkward to me. And I was like, but I just like, I'm like, honestly, I don't really want to talk about it. So like, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I've moved off it.
Yeah.
So I went about my night, had a great night, whatever. Woke up the next day. Get another message.
Part 2. The greatest hits.
I am so sorry it came across like you were doing something wrong. I didn't want to make you feel that way. I was just maybe in my feelings and thought, you know, you were doing this because of that or blah, blah, blah. Just another longer, I'm just looking at the message. I'm like, oh, so you're cool? Maybe you're cool.
Yeah, so she like basically calls you out on a very legitimate thing on her end. Like regardless of whether or not you had done anything wrong, she has every right to feel like you are or are not invested in her. So
yeah, 100%.
And that's fine. But then she walked the whole fucking thing back. Again, not even 24 hours later. And the apologies. This has nothing to do with religious trauma, but ladies, stop fucking apologizing. Like literally.
I'm pretty sure I showed you this message like that week, and you were like, I'm so angry.
I'm furious. This is
she's like, I was on her side all the way up until this apology. This is horrible.
The first text she sent, I was like, yeah, go off, girl. Like, he's not giving you enough time of day. Like, da-da-da.
Yeah, she was sitting right where she's sitting right now talking about, yeah, this nigga ain't shit. 100%.
He don't like you. Like, tell him.
And then she saw the apology, and she was like, oh, bitch,
And I was
now
like,
you ain't shit.
No, because it's just like, I fucking hate it when women apologize for shit that A, is not even they're in the wrong for doing, but B, it's just like apologies aren't necessary and shit that like men would never in a million years apologize for. But that's all beside the point. The real point is, again, like this flip-floppy shit. And also she obviously thought you guys were like pretty deep because she's like out here being like, oh, like you're not cutting it.
Yeah, even though there are definitely details that we'll save for the Patreon,
right,
that would make it very clear that I wasn't thinking
being that serious, right?
But
right. And I mean,
again, I'm not treating her like trash. I was talking to a bunch of people or whatever. It's just
that's
like,
exactly what I was gonna say.
You know, it just kind of was what it was.
It was cash, and also like we're gonna get to this in a minute, so it's fine. But like, you do have a full-on podcast where you talk about exactly what's been going on with you and what you feel on these exact issues. So
yeah, there's an opportunity
she wasn't watching the news, so to speak.
There's an opportunity to get some of that stuff. Yes,
but I don't
agree.
know. The one thing I want to say before we get to like the fourth point is like, I keep bringing up the horniness thing, and I want to be super clear about it. Religious trauma girls, I'm speaking directly to the people.
To the people.
Women who have religious trauma are horny as fuck because they have repressed their sexuality all through adolescence, regardless of whether or not they actually ever fucked or didn't fuck or whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Like, they a lot of them haven't masturbated. A lot of them
Ugh.
haven't like explored their sexual side.
Ugh.
They even feel like it's even indoctrinated to like, again, I've talked about it, like your body in itself, there's something wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
So like even feeling sexy is almost like shameful.
Yeah.
It's just, and these are extreme examples, and it doesn't always present in this like specific way, but it's just an overall sense of like you grew up like avoiding the elephant in the room, so to speak, and then you hit this
Now
point
it's here, and it's
just like bow, which again, not her fault. These are just
according to you, it's my fault actually. According to you, it's actually my fault. Like, well, my fault in her pasture at a young age.
Well, it's okay, fine. To give you the credit that you deserve, like all throughout this saga, like you were not telling her that you guys were exclusive. There was no type of understanding or direct discussion of like we're dating. Yeah, I never even met her. Like she didn't hang out with the homies. All of this shit.
You didn't meet her.
No, I don't even know what she looks like.
Dang, I totally forgot about that.
So like I didn't feel at all like you were like leading her on in that type of like dog world way.
Yeah.
Because wasn't around kicking it, whatever, blah blah blah. So I don't think you were acting out of pocket, but I don't think her confusion is necessarily just particularly her own fault either. So
takes two to tango. It takes two to tango.
Get to the first or get to the last one.
Okay, so
the fourth important point.
So then, as Kristen alluded to earlier, she knew about the podcast pretty early on in our talking.
Mm-hmm.
But with like her work schedule or whatever, she just never even really showed up for the pod recordings, which is fine. A lot of people, when we record it, you got to be free. So it's like, whatever. Right. I totally get it. But there was a time we were hanging out where she literally told me, she was like, I don't think I can listen to the podcast. And now, even though, I mean, I feel a lot more deeper connection to the pod now than I did at the time, I still was kind of like, what do you mean you can't listen to the podcast? And she was like, oh, I just don't know if I need to be here and all that. Like, what you guys do, your passes, blah, blah, just making a whole bunch of excuses.
Which, again, is like very vague. Like, I feel like the vague speak
I'm like,
is another thing.
I totally get like people who are like, oh, your pass is your pass. Like that part, I totally agree with. But also, I'm like, you think I'm just on this podcast talking about everything I've done for the past 30 years and not talking about anything current in the future
anything
happening?
Like genuine about like what I am looking for in a relationship,
what I like, what I don't like,
literally
nothing. So I was just like, okay, whatever you say. I was just like, I mean, that was definitely one of the things that did turn me off a little bit.
Right.
But I was just like, hey man, you do you, boo boo.
Yeah.
So then after she like felt like she insulted me, like it took about like a week and a half for her to do that. She was like, oh no, like I'm so sorry. Like I'll listen to an episode, yada yada yada.
Can't.
And I'm like, okay, well pick an episode, go ahead.
Yeah.
Then she's looking at the titles of some of the episodes. She's like, oh, I can't listen to this episode. I can't listen to this episode. And I think one of them, she was like, oh, I can't listen to Roster 101. And I was like, oh, you should definitely listen to that episode.
That's me.
I know. I was like, first of all, that's a great episode. And second of all, I don't say anything in there. Like, just go ahead and listen to it. So after like maybe like 3 weeks, she finally listens to like one episode and sends me like a whole review saying like, oh, she likes our rapport. And, it's cool. She was like, oh, I thought it was just going to be you guys talking about sex. And I was like...
Which, again, like, even that right there, I'm like, why is she so, like, fake, weirdly afraid of hearing us discuss sex? And yet she's literally trying to sext you. Like, the math on this is just... It's giving confused.
I checked the literature. It didn't add up.
Thank you.
But, so what brought us to the finale of... my 4 points and our time together, me and this girl, where we recorded the I'm Back episode. And
classic.
We, as we usually do, post a couple of reels on the IG before we go to the full episode release.
Damn, the fucking reels stay getting you in trouble.
The reels really do get me in trouble every time. Like, I'm waiting for that reel you just posted to get me in trouble, low key, actually, but... We'll see. So we posted one of the reels, and I can't even remember what the reel even talked about. But then she apparently decided to listen to the episode and I got an official breakup text that
she went in for the kill. Old
bas-
Yeller.
basically said, "Hey, I listened to your most recent episode. I'm glad you're out of retirement. Go find you these other hoes because I ain't it. Don't ever text me." The end. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, well, I mean, you listened, so that's good. Another listener, another download.
Wait,
Hey.
did you text her back or did you just leave it?
When I get a text that says "Do not text me,"
It's done.
unless, yeah, no, it is done. Actually, I feel like I've never texted back after that. Yeah, no, that was the end of the conversation.
So you don't know if she blocked you or nothing because you didn't even try.
Oh well, I mean, I know on the social media she's just like all them other girls. I'm gone, but
oh, word.
yeah, I'm gone, but I don't know by her phone.
So she was like, she cut the ties, cut them, cut it.
Oh, I know she cut the ties because I seen there was even a couple of periffs that got cut.
Ooh,
So it was attached to me.
not
I was
the
like,
periffs.
I know. I was like, ooh, it ain't that deep, girl. It ain't that deep. I was like, they didn't do nothing to you, but that's a whole nother side story. But yeah, so that was the end of that.
My only one fake defense of her in that moment is that, like, I can appreciate, as someone who doesn't necessarily need exclusivity, that I still don't want to hear about the other shit. So, like, I do understand where it's like, even me, I might be like, damn, I'm not trying to hear about these other girls you're fucking with.
Again, but then keep that same energy about, oh, I don't want to listen to the pod.
Right. And she's the one that's the thing. She chose the episode. She wanted to hear it. She put her nose where she knew she was going to not like it.
Yeah.
But, like, more importantly than that, again, where was there ever a conversation about exclusivity? Like, the way that she texted you and the way she did this, like, whole fake breakup is just like she's acting as if you guys were in a full-on relationship and you were fully on cheating on her. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand where this level of intensity about being so upset that you were with other bitches or talked to other bitches came from, even though I do, and I think it's the religious trauma. But I'm just saying.
No, I mean, it's like, because part of me is like, okay, if I was talking to this guy and I heard the I'm Back episode,
yeah,
and I thought I was talking to this guy solo dolo,
right,
I would feel some type of way.
yeah.
But also, I believe on that episode, I talked about 3 different women.
Yeah.
And she's the only one that was actually mad about that episode. The other 2 were all here for it.
Yeah. Peaches and cream.
So, I don't know if that's crazy. I don't know if it's a combo breaker.
I mean, I would go with RT because in my mind, it's just like she's not stupid in the sense of, like, literally. So, like, she does. I don't think that she would genuinely, in hindsight now, like a little bit more emotionally removed from the situation, claim to have thought that you guys were exclusively boyfriend and girlfriend. The actions and the stuff that you guys were doing together and the interactions that you were having were genuinely not boyfriend and girlfriend level. Like I said, I never even met her.
Yeah,
she was not around.
I'm sure whoever the new dude is
right.
suffering from me.
Right.
Like,
and so I would be shocked if she were to try to claim that she thought y'all were really exclusive like that. I think the reason I think it's religious trauma is that girls who have religious trauma don't do well in situationships. Because the reality is that the way that they are justifying and trying to get over their own guilt about sex and whatever is this, I don't know if it's fake, I don't know if it's real, but level of commitment that a relationship provides, even though, like, again, my question is does it even really provide that? I don't know. That gets into a toxic versus healthy thing.
Yeah, we talk on the Quick Hits all the time about dudes who are in quote unquote very loving long relationships that aren't giving any of those vibes that you're discussing.
But I mean, that's the dogma that they've been indoctrinated with and they've been brainwashed with, is that this level of commitment is what makes sex and what makes these, like, raunchy things okay. And so the situationship is kind of like the nightmare scenario, because it's almost like you're fake in a relationship, but then when push comes to shove, she hears that you're talking to other girls on the thing. Like, her perceived, like, walls of protection crumble. And again, like, that internal panic of like, oh, I'm getting played. I'm fucking this dude. I look stupid, blah, blah. When in reality, she doesn't look fucking stupid at all. Like, it's all totally fine and not a big deal. And if she had wanted to have the conversation with you about like, hey, I really like you. I want to be your girlfriend and I want us to be exclusive. She A, could have done that. And B, already sort of did when she fake broke up with you the first time. And then you said like, yeah, I don't feel like we're on that level. And then she just was like, oh yeah, you're right. My bad. I'm sorry. So like, again, flippy, floppy, flip, flip, flip. Like I just
a flip cup extraordinaire.
I just don't know.
Oh no, I just know you just wanted to talk about it so bad. Like, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're still a fan. If you still watching, hey, shout out. I got no bad blood personally.
Right.
Like,
That's the thing.
I think it's but no, I mean, like honestly, I just think it's one of those things where it's like. And maybe, I don't know if this is religious trauma tied too, because it's like you talk about like the relationship, and I'm sure a lot of those people, like they think it's like a relationship that goes to what I know we talked about in another episode, weddings, marriage, and the whole thing. And it's like, when that doesn't happen, it's like, dang, you failed.
Right. This is a good point.
And I know the older you get, the more you feel like, oh, the clock is ticking. I'm failing again. I'm not doing like blah, blah, whatever. All this stuff in your head when, I mean, shit don't work for everybody. Like,
and also like, I'm sorry, but the relationship you guys had literally was not negative.
No.
It was positive. You were both getting it in. You enjoyed time with each other. It just wasn't that deep. And I think you're absolutely right that the problem is that for people who grew up in these religious situations, the only type of relationship that exists is marriage. And so when it doesn't become that, even though like, she's out here living her life full on adult in 2022, like she knows what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
On an intellectual level. She doesn't think it's like that.
Yeah, no, conceptually she's not out here like, what the hell?
That confused. But when she's confronted with it in that specific way of hearing you on the podcast talking about other women, like those walls just crumble and then it's just fucking panic mode. So yeah, I definitely am seeing some classic RT signs in this story, and I just love this one. I think it's just a good example.
I know you do.
Oh, here's another thing. Classic. I had to shout this out because this is so. When I heard this song, I was like, "This is so."
I knew you weren't gonna let this go.
Fucking shout out to the Queen Bee Beyonce with the new fucking song on her new album, "Church Girls."
Hey, I think
describes exactly what I'm talking about.
I think when this song came out, I messaged you and was like, "Oh, this is exactly like on your list for religious trauma or whatever." Like, this is Queen Bee made a song about one of our podcast episodes that's coming up. I just didn't know.
The whole point of this song is that she said, I mean, literally the chorus is church girls acting loose. Like I said, these church girls, they're the horniest bitches there is, man. Like, they're just trying to fuck, but like they can. And it's just, it hurts me. Like, if I could just save one fucking church girl from feeling bad about herself,
you done your job.
My life would be complete.
Well, I'm thinking, because at first Beyonce, like, when we first started the Rona or whatever, she shouted out the OnlyFans and it became the move.
Yep.
So I think now that she shouted out Church Girls and we recorded this, between the two of y'all about to save a couple of women. All right, y'all about to save a couple of ladies, and I just am here for you saving them. And if they still got a lot of that horniness in them, you can send them my way. It's cool. I'm around. Just let them know what it is, because
this is the last thing I'll say about this. This is completely unrelated to the girl you were talking to. I don't think I've ever put this on wax, but it's so applicable to this moment that I just have to give this quick story time. I feel like I was very lucky. And I had this
she's so lucky,
very specific, pinpoint, kind of full circle moment where I completely overcame my particular religious trauma, even though it wasn't as deep as some of these other examples. And you know what they say, like 9 times out of 10, you don't get closure on nothing in this life. Like, it's a cold
world. Just like I always say, one of my favorite lines is, "I still feel like there's bitches that owe me sex." Like,
and
yeah, closure is a luxury that many of us couldn't live 3 lifetimes to afford.
Agreed. And so that's why this exact situation has always stood out in my mind, because there was this family that was very involved in my religious community growing up.
Okay.
And they had 2 kids, and the daughter was in my grade, and the son was in my brother's grade. And so I... Go ahead. And like these people, I'm not gonna say in what capacity because it's too much, but like they were very prominent figures.
They were involved.
That had an impact on my life in this religious community.
Yeah.
And like back in the day, like I didn't pay really either one of these people no mind because I was not fucking with this shit.
I was about to say you were not about that life in any capacity. So,
but fast forward way later on, way after I went to college, the whole works. Like we're fully adults now, right?
Uh-huh.
There may have been a situation.
Oh boy!
Where I had the opportunity.
Opportunity to do what, Kristen?
A good old-fashioned revenge fuck.
Oh, man.
Absolute, beautiful, cold-hearted vengeance in my utter soul.
See, this is why I be calling you the motherfucking unicorn. Because I feel like even though I don't think you are alone in this thought process of revenge fuck, I just don't hear it on wax like this.
I literally love a revenge fuck. And honestly, the other reason I wanted to bring this up is because I feel like the revenge fuck is a really good example of exactly what I'm talking about when people say that they have to have an emotional connection with somebody in order to enjoy the sex.
When you know good and damn well.
Revenge fuck, you don't need shit. You just need to know that you are avenging some wrong or like yourself or whatever it is.
But I'm glad you got a revenge
file that one
fuck.
Under dudes I can get one off with that I don't need to marry.
Or do anything with ever again.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got a revenge fuck. Some people get their little closure. You know, you brought that full circle with that whole situation. And, you know, maybe one day I'll get my full circle as I keep edging towards future, as you say, our toxic king, as I try to walk up to his iron throne, but you know,
which we don't actually condone, by the way, but we fake do. I don't know. I go back and forth.
I don't think you actually go back and forth. I think you just go forth and forth. You just talk about the backwards.
I just condone it for women only. I don't condone it for men. I just don't want women to be more toxic because we just have literally gotten fucking screwed our whole lives. So I'm like, women should aspire to it, but not men.
Except for I feel like you've been sitting on this podcast for 80 plus episodes trying to get me to aspire to it.
Yeah, but you are a different situation because you are genuinely a nice person that I know in real life. And so I could speak specifically about people that I know in their certain contexts, but men as a whole, no.
I don't know if I'm that nice, but...
And I don't care if I'm being unfair or double standard. I truly don't care. I want it for the women and I don't want it for the men. But I do want it for you because you deserve it.
Thank you.
And that's all the time we have for quarantine.
Perfect place to stop. I guess we're going to go hit this drink break and we can celebrate my kind words.
Shout out.